Alright, boys and girls, so when I did this game the other day, I didn't realize until I did the watch back on it, yes, last night actually, that the microphone wasn't picking up that good. I won't be using that one. It kind of fell and broke, and I tried piecing it back together, so it wasn't really working really well. So I was listening to what I was saying there, and you couldn't really hear how I was explaining the different game modes on this. So anyway, the game modes are here. You got your career, which you can go into, and then it'll take you to the next event, whatever. This is the third event that I've been on. Okay, so you can go in and do these elimination races, but once you get past the first race, you can just go right to the race itself. You don't have to do any of the preliminary stuff, okay? You can just go right to the race. You don't have to do any of the elimination races or the test drives, the track, or do any of that stuff. You just go straight to the race, okay? Or you can go to this championship, which is where you can have 4 players. So if you have more joysticks, you can have extra players. And so this is more the cars are set the way they're set. Okay, so when you start one of these type deals, you can go in and do 80s cars, 90s, 2000s, 10s, and 20s in the cars, or just start back at the beginning. And then you can set your advantage here if you want to get an advantage over the other guys. You know, you can set that up right there. Or if you want an advantage over the, say your friends are way better than you, then you give yourself a little bit of advantage, and then they wouldn't have an advantage, okay? But if you're going to do it in a career, you have a bunch of other options in the career mode that you don't have in the other mode. Which in the career mode is you can do these upgrades with the money you win. So you'll see on some of this stuff, I'm already up at level 2. You'll see here on the downforce and stuff like that. There's the engines at level 1. So yeah, you can do these upgrades as you go. But on this championship mode, there is no upgrading the car. It's just the stock car you got right here. And I think the cars get a little hair faster as you go up into the years. I think the cars get a little bit better. But you're starting in the 80s. You're starting with the slop cars. So in the career, you have upgrades, and there's just simulation stuff in here that you have to deal with as you're going. You know, you'll get phone calls from the pit boss, and you know, do you want to make this change or that change? So we'll just go right to the event here. Oh yeah, and then I'll show you this part that's coming up. When you're doing the career mode here, you have to pick your tires before the race starts. Okay. And that'll be at this screen. So if you pick the soft tires from the beginning, you're going to have to do 2 pit stops. So what I usually do is I start with the hard tires. When the car doesn't handle as good, you know, it slides around more, doesn't corner as good, but you're only going to have to stop once. So that's the strategy that I've been using. I've been starting with the hard tires, and then when I go in for my pit stop, I'll change to the soft tires to finish the race out. So that's just the way I've been doing it. And then, you know, you always start at the back because they don't have qualifying. Now you don't want to start the race, you know, holding the gas pedal down, because the car will spin out on you if you do that. and then they reset your boost every lap. And people will try to wreck you in this game. Make no mistake. Okay, they will wreck you, and they will do those types of things. Here's where you get your tires. Now you have to drive into the pits. It doesn't auto drive into the pits, but it'll auto drive out of the pits. Pick up a couple spots here, but there's at least one guy in the pit. Chill here. Okay, so I got a pretty decent lead on that second place guy there. Okay, so in here you would pick up these perks. And you don't want the fully automated pit stops. You don't want to get that perk. You're better off with having it over there. And you can switch out perks here too, right here, and then you can go over here and boost the happiness of your crew. So if you have crew that's unhappy, you can pay a little bit of money. It's basically like giving them a raise to make them more upbeat about doing their job. So I'm just going to leave this stuff alone right there. So I got $450 to spend, and then you get phone calls. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So this will be the next race weekend. So you have all these opportunities over here to pick up extra coin, like this checkpoint race, reverse track race, and or just the regular race, okay? So you can go through all of these, except for this first one, you don't want to bother with that. But these you can pick up extra money. So if, from this screen, if you just want to go to the garage, you see up there at the top of the screen, you just would hit the square. So I got 450. Now I can bring this engine up to level 2. Get more downforce. I usually concentrate on the downforce first, because the downforce is the most important thing in Formula 1 racing, is being able to keep the car on the track. But for right now, I'm just going to go in here and upgrade this engine, because I got 300 coin. So that'll just give me a little bit more horsepower and stuff like that. Now, you have to do that because you have to upgrade the car, because as the thing is progressing, the other cars that you're not racing, the AI cars, they're upgrading as they go. So if you don't do any upgrades by the time you would get to the end of the season, those cars are going to be a lot faster and handle better than what you're going to be. So you have to kind of do that. So alright guys, I just wanted to explain that to you, because I couldn't the other day because the microphone was acting up.